Wanyanyekovu finally woke up at 6 a.m. Everyone approached the abyss. He left 2 men up top while he and the others headed down the abyss using the jet ships. They descended slowly down the deep room with their lights on about 200 feet as they all looked around. "This is an enormous place," echoed Joan's voice. Wanyanyekovu shook his head. "Yeah, pretty much," what Kenji said. A few warriors landed. "Someone finds the lights, or something in here," Joan ordered his warriors. "Would you like for me to turn the lights on?" Everyone was up in arms until they saw a large, computerized female face appear in front of them. "My name is Isabella. I didn't mean to startle you. Would you like for me to turn on the lights?" Wanyanyekovu said. "Hi, my name is Wanyanyekovu. What is this place?" Abella said. "This is a research and development center where we study and document ways to eradicate the Wakatilians' DNA, code name New Willie Lynch. This floor researches and tests synthetic drugs and compares different DNA strains." Abella turned on the lights behind her. "This is where we collect Wakatilians. Using their 9 DNA series, we can pinpoint and find the most mutated cells in their body. The Wakatilians are dropped here in a protective shell, and we draw blood from each individual." A conveyor belt started to run as Abella continued. "They are then judged by age, weight, height, geographical location, and sex, and taken to the second floor for manipulation and sexual exploration." At the end of the conveyor belt was a small hole, and they all heard a door unlock itself and open right next to the conveyor belt. The lights on the second floor turned on as everyone got off their jet ships, walked toward the door, and began walking down the stairs. Abella continued. "This is the manipulation department, codenamed Divide and Conquer. Here we devise ways to allow Wakatilians to destroy each other by using psychological means to create self-hatred. Teaching them to disrespect their women, molest children, rape, drug use and abuse, alcoholism, and then we replace some of them into their respected communities." As they reached the bottom of the stairs, blue lights turned on, one by one. These blue lights were on top of tubular glass of different sizes encased with people in them, covered in a transparent gel. Embryos, as well as some Wakatilians of different ages, appeared in them. Abella continued, as Wanyanyekovu's heart seemed to sink into his chest and his eyes watered up. "Synthetic drugs are used to control them and in a lucrative pornographic broadcast located downstairs." Walking past the last row of enclosed tubes, Wanyanyekovu looked into the eyes of an elderly man suspended in the casing and put his head down, feeling as if he had failed him. Tears were now rolling down his eyes. A bright light was turned on, covering the entire floor, revealing thousands of bodies. Wanyanyekovu fell to his knees in disbelief and yelled in a horrible cry unheard of before. He ran up to see 10 dead Wakatilians, primarily naked and chained to tables. Some had needles in their arms or a white powdery substance stuck to their noses. Abella continued. Wanyanyekovu ran from table to each body, checking for a pulse, but no pulse was found. Wanyanyekovu looked up at Joan. "Stay here and find out more. I'll be back." The rest of the warriors followed him. Wanyanyekovu turned around and yelled with so much anger. "Stay fucking here!" Wanyanyekovu ran back up the steps, jumped on his jet cruiser, and drove to shore. He fell to the ground, yelling, cursing, and swinging his arms angrily, eventually crying himself to sleep. Wanyanyekovu found himself covered up and woke up to a baby crying, and his warriors by his side. Joan holding the baby. All the information was gathered, but there was one level that was tightly sealed. Even Abella was unauthorized to open it. Wanyanyekovu stood up. "I wanted to apologize for my words and actions. It was unlike me, and I repent to you for it. Please forgive me." Wanyanyekovu looked around him, and thousands of people surrounded him. "What is this, and whose baby are you holding?" Joan said. "The people are here to thank you for destroying their oppressor, and the baby was found in a cage." Wanyanyekovu looked at the baby and saw it was from the same tribe and clan as Obe. He turned to talk to the people, but they couldn't hear him. Joan handed him a bullhorn. "My friends, my name is Wanyanyekovu. We have much to talk about, but I must bury my people. the crowd yelled. We will bury them, for you. In tears once again, he said, Thank you, for it would have been challenging for me to do it. Wanyanyekova handed Jome the bullhorn and said, Dekarish. Jome looked at him strangely, and Wanyanyekova smiled. The baby's name will be Dekarish.